Welcome to Anacortes and aboard the Oasis. We happen to be here in the winter this time, but that doesn't mean you'll be trapped indoors. Anacortes is in the Banana Belt and receives less rainfall and more sunny days than Seattle. Anacortes is located 96 miles north of SeaTac Airport, and it's surrounded by waters in the Fidalgo Bay and Gourmet Channel. Anacortes was founded in 1879 by railroad surveyor Amos Bowman, who named the town after his wife, Ann Curtis. First known as a ship harbor, Anacortes was established in the vain hope that it would be selected as the western terminus of the Transcontinental Railroad. After the railroad bust, it became a lumber and fishing center. And in the 1950s, oil companies moved in and built refineries, and that remains the area's largest industry. And the economic base now includes yacht construction, shipbuilding, and tourism. On buildings throughout the downtown area, you'll spot artistic life-size paintings. This is thanks to the Mural Project, which represents over a decade of an artistic touch by Bill Mitchell. One of our favorite lunch spots is GERE-a-DELI, located in a 1920s bank with old-fashioned signs and high ceilings. They have breakfast items and serve lunch with an array of soup, salads, and deli sandwiches. Lunch can be very crowded here, but it is worth the wait. Being that this is a popular restaurant, last summer we ran into Paul's cousin's wife, who recognized Paul from a family photo. That's a small town for you. GERE-a-DELI also has the best brownies for dessert, along with a lot of other good baked items that you might want to enjoy. After lunch, we went back through downtown, where you'll pass lots of quaint shops that include antiques, books, art, jewelry, and of course restaurants. And then later in the video, we'll take you to some sites, and the very last thing in the video is a site that gave me chill bumps, but we'll get to that later. We decided to check in where we're staying, the Ship Harbor Inn. They have a beautiful location, as you can see, great views, very quiet, tucked away a little bit, but yet it's only a mile or less within walking distance from the ferry terminal. They have breakfast in the morning. They offer a nice assortment of breakfast items. Hi, so I'm heading to show you some sights in Anacortes. Here I'm driving up to Cap Sandy Marina, the port of Anacortes, in Fidalgo Bay. It's within walking distance of downtown Anacortes and has a Safeway conveniently located across the street. It offers guest moorage, permanent, and liveaboard moorage. We're walking towards Seafarers Memorial in Seafarer Park. This memorial was established to recognize those who've lost their lives while in pursuit of their livelihood. The names from those who have died span from 1915 to 1963. Paul R. Knowles is among those honored on the monument. Mr. Knowles of Anacortes was skipper of a 50-foot crab boat, Sea Mill, that went missing October 26, 1970 in heavy seas near Kodiak, Alaska. Sea Mill had radioed that her radar and depth finder were not working and she was unsure of her position. Eventually, the search was called off. Just beyond the Seafarers Memorial is the sculpture of the Lady of the Sea. Here she stands watch with her little boy, awaiting the return of her husband from the sea, all the while holding out a lantern to light the way for those that work and play in the sea. And conveniently located right next door is Anthony's. Fresh seafood every day. It's wonderful. We love it there. And look at the view behind it. Absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty at night too. It's all lit up. And here we are having dinner there. I thought this was cute. It's a throwback from when salmon was king in Anacortes. Our next stop was the ferry. Paul had left early that morning to go to Friday Harbor to pick up our mail and take care of some things, and Gracie and I came to pick him up. I thought Gracie was going to get in trouble here. I decided to pull her back. She didn't want to come. I sped this part up to make it a little faster to watch. And of course, as the ferry unloaded, Gracie and I were right there waiting for Paul. And there he is. Gracie was happy to see him, and so was I. We were waiting for him to come join us for our next excursion, which is Washington Park, also located very near the ferry terminal. Washington Park expands across 228 acres. It's used for walking and biking or driving. If you love nature, it's a must-stop. It's also popular for bird watching. But if you're like us and you like to get high and see the view, it's the perfect place for doing it. As you can see, it's a tree-lined loop that goes through the park with amazing views and beaches. And if time permits, I would try to catch a sunset. It's a memory you won't forget. Now, we're not showing you the entire park here. There's so much more to it. We're just taking you on a short run to get the idea. Anacortes has almost 2,800 acres of forest lands with 50 miles of multiple use trails. The forest lands include Whistle Lake, Cranberry Lake, Hart Lake, and this park, Washington Park. You'll observe woodlands, marshlands filled with birds, breathtaking seascapes, and island views. When we come to Anacortes, we always make a stop at BananaBelt Boats. We thought we'd introduce you to some friends here. We've gotten to know everybody that works at the BananaBelt, and we just like visiting with them and saying hi when we're in town. Approaching us here is Amy Thornton. She's the owner of BananaBelt Boats. She's always happy, friendly, and a joy to work with. And if you've ever wondered how they move those big yachts, they use a lift like this. I was hoping to catch them actually moving it, but it looks to me like they might be having a little bit of a mechanical problem. And here is the Sea Oasis. We've had it in dry storage this winter while we finalized our sale, and also we were getting some work done to it to get ready for the summer. Here you see the new shafts and propellers. We were glad to get that work done before summer started, thanks to Mark Hanger at Mark's Marine Repair. I wanted to formally introduce you to Matthew and Amy Thornton. They both operate BananaBelt Boats, and I asked Amy if she would sit down and talk to us about how she acquired the business and to give us some insight on exactly what they do.
Basically, when I was born in the 70s, my dad was unemployed, and when I was born, he said, "Oh my God, it's a redhead and it's a girl. I need a job." And so about a month after I was born, he started selling boats in the 70s. And then, you know, over the years, the majority of his clients became friends, and he really wanted to start a business with an atmosphere that kind of carried that vibe. So my folks started the business in 2000. And then in 2013, I became 90% owner. And this year, now I own 100%.
Wow, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, it is. It's a very big responsibility, but it's also incredibly fun. I mean, well, I got to meet you guys.
Yeah,
so,
and you're perfect for the job. I mean, we think you're wonderful.
Well, you know how we feel about you guys. So, well, that's the whole point, though. I mean, the best part about this job is you meet some really incredible people, and my dad is famous for his saying that says you have to be pretty smart to make enough money to buy something this stupid as a boat. You know, but that's the point, is that it's something that you do for yourself that's incredibly fun. And that's the best part about the job, really, is the people that we meet. And, you know, you aren't supposed to just buy a boat for me. If I'm doing my job right, it should feel like you have a friend or a family member that happens to be a boat broker that can help you and guide you through the process. For me, it's much more important to develop the relationship long term than just to get you to buy a boat. One thing that's super important to me is to listen to what a client's needs are. It's not to, I don't have an agenda. That's the thing about BananaBelt, is our job is to serve you. It's to listen to what you need, sometimes help you anticipate what we think you might need and hint that, and help you determine what is the best experience you could possibly have on the water. And our job is to help match you with that. The other thing about BananaBelt is, you know, our knowledge base. We're all certified yacht brokers. So it's not just like we decided one day, hey, let's go sell a boat. You know, I try to be really thoughtful and thorough, you know, from everything from recommending the right lender to pair you with to tax laws that you might encounter. You know, it's a much more complicated process. But again, if I do my job right, it shouldn't seem complicated. All of the boats are out of the water, connected by a walkway, so that I could literally show you, well, it used to be 45 boats, but with our expansion now, I mean, my goal is, if you want to see 100 boats in an afternoon and spend the whole day here, I want to be the Disneyland for boat buyers. So that way, when you come to BananaBelt, let's say, and you don't know what you want, we can look at all kinds of boats so you can compare. Well, I don't want anybody to have to wait until the end of January here in the Seattle area, you know, or February in the Florida area. I don't want you to have to wait to look at boats. I want you to say, you know what, it's Tuesday and I want to go see a boat. Well, let's go to BananaBelt. All kinds of power boats, from, a 20-foot trailerable boat to a 70-foot, huge yacht. It's a huge range. And sometimes when you come here, you think you might want one thing, and my job is to make sure that we aren't missing anything either. So,
well, that's how we felt as customers twice now.
I did mention you are a favorite. Yeah. So this is our new expansion. We're doing it in 2 phases. So this whole yard right here is basically going to double our capacity. So we've got 45 boats in our current yard, and we'll have about 50 here. The boats you're seeing over there are boats that are actually all for sale. So my goal is to have this entire yard to be full of boats that are for sale. But basically, by the time we're done with phase 1 and phase 2 of our expansion, we'll have an overall total of about 150 boats out of the water for sale.
So that's BananaBelt Boats, Anacortes Washington. And when you're up this way, please stop by and see Amy and Matthew Thornton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. The next stop is a very tasty Mexican food restaurant that we found, and while there we were given the best service. In fact, I liked what I ordered so well I wanted the recipe. And we made a new friend. Okay, remember when I said the last site we'll visit gave me chill bumps? Let's see how you feel about it.